Now that chapter is finally out and we don't have to talk about the leaks anymore, let's get to the real story and see what the story is all about. So today we're going to talk about chapter 102, which is Son Goku versus Son Gohan. It begins where we left off at chapter 101, where Goku is pretty much standing on top of the vehicle and he is ready to pretty much talk about Gohan's power. Just like I mentioned last time about the leaks, this story is actually really good. And I do have to say, with the Goten and Trunks fights that I was expecting to be very short in this chapter, we got a good fight out of them, which is very surprising. But the chapter does start off where Goku is back at the house once again, pretty much to say, hey, look it, I felt your ki, I want to battle you. So like, let's go somewhere else, like Beerus is playing it, and let's go fight there. So Gohan has to change, gets back, and pretty much Goku sends him off in the Red Ribbon Army car, of course, back to Beerus' planet. Sure enough, the gang that Goku brought started talking around with Vegeta and them, pretty much saying like, oh, have you been training well? What about you? Piccolo's been training very well. Like, he's got a new form. And sure enough, Vegeta's like, hey, you better been training too. I hope you've been training, which he kind of lies, if you want to call it, but he pretty much just says that, yeah, they got these interesting new techniques and stuff, which I will say they technically do have, but is it strong enough to fight a Z-Fighter? Maybe not. But anyways, of course, Vegeta's like, prove it to me that you are actually strong now, so go fight Gohan. So anyways, of course, this is where the battle starts happening, and I do have to say, yes, at the start, a little goofiness, you know, with the X1, X2 thing, pretty much saying like, hey, you can't see with visors on, take the helmets off. So sure enough, they take it off, goes Super Saiyan, they go after Gohan as a Super Saiyan as well. Goku was actually really intrigued. He was like, huh, a Super Saiyan? You don't want to go into another different form? That's interesting. And I do like the moment where Gohan turns into the unlocked potential form. And Goten and Trunks were like, that's the ultimate form. That's the cool form. Why would you do that? We don't have that form. Gohan has to like be like, why is it called ultimate? I think that's a weird name. Why would you call this form ultimate? I just thought that was really funny that they like brought that into it. Because technically if you think of it, it's like Ultimate Gohan. I know there is a reference to that. I know like in the games or other cases. But I just think it's hilarious that they brought that up in the manga. So cool enough. You got me there. I like it so far. But anyways, at this point, Goten and Trunks were like, well, if you're going to go into that form, we got no choice. Let's do fusion. We have to do fusion. Gohan was pretty much saying like, look, just don't do that. You're going to get the same form again. Like, it's pointless for you guys to do this once again. And sure enough, they were very cocky and they got the form. But that's pretty much where the fight is, pretty much at the ending for Goten and Trunks versus Gohan. Pretty much, he just knocks him out, pretty much just sends him flying through the trees or other cases. And then that's when we get the big fight that we seen from the leaks, which is Goku versus Gohan. I will say, I think we might have missed maybe like a page or two from the leaks, but still, either way, it was still a pretty good fight. You know, we got to see them like sparring and like on their faces, they're having a good time. Like, I was really happy to see that out of the fight. Because I feel like Gohan, when he fought, especially in Dragon Ball Super anime, you could tell, like, just super serious. Like, he was like, I'm here to fight you. That's all that matters to me. You're going down. But in this chapter, you see that he is smirking and having a great time like Goku is. And I love it for that perspective that they do show that in the chapter. So that's really awesome that they put that in. And then just see him going back and forth like super fast out of the chapters and like every single hit on each other. But it's like they're like, you know, blocking every attack and everything. I love it for this purpose. So it feels like they're definitely on a certain level with each other now. And I love that perspective of these two characters personally. But anyways, of course, they're still fighting by the end of the chapter. And that's when you hear Beerus pretty much saying like, look, stop destroying my planet. I am curious to see where it's going to go from here because they want to continue fighting. And I'm very curious how this fight's going to end in the next chapter for 103. So, very interesting fight, I do have to say. And my thoughts and opinions of this so far, like just a review of it, like to give it out of 10, definitely has to be like a 9 out of 10. This was probably one of my favorite chapters. Like, out of like that whole year that we've had, it was just amazing. I really enjoyed this fight a lot. I think this was the fight that a lot of fans wanted to see for a while now, especially ever since we got the Beast Form Gohan from the movie. And to finally get to the point where we can finally get a continuation, of that, and at the same time know for a fact that we would love to see these two concepts, Goku versus Gohan, in their most peak forms, if you want to call it. I don't know about Goku, but he chose Ultra Instinct instead of his Saiyan Instinct. I don't know if that's what you call that form, but either way, it's like a different trans of UI, I guess. I don't know. But anyways, he didn't want to use that form apparently. But still, it was very amazing fight to see, and I'm just very glad that we got a fight that we've been wanting. I think the hype is just here just because we've been expecting this for a while now, and for a whole year we've been like very having a dull year with these chapters. I feel like that was the case, and I understand like maybe they were trying to like say stretch out the chapters long enough from the movie so then that way we can like catch up to pace with the show or the case is. But still, either way, I feel like, you know, with that whole year last year for Dragon Ball, it was kind of dull. I'm sorry to say it, but yes, it wasn't that great of a year for Dragon Ball, but it sounds like this year's going to be it. We got games, we're getting more chapters, we're getting an anime. So I feel like we're in a good position now if the chapters go from here on out. And like I mentioned, last year was slightly dull on chapters, so now that we're past the point to the movie, I feel like at this point we're just going to get good chapters at this point either way, because making it dull and then having something more interesting to read is, I feel like, what's going to make this year a lot better after what we went through. Having something very, very dull to something very interesting out of nowhere is going to spark people's interests now and seeing where this is going to go, right? Like, we still have Black Frieza that I think a lot of people would love to see very, very soon. But still, I think this is going to be an interesting year for us as Dragon Ball fans. And I can't wait personally to see what's going to come out of this. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So hopefully you guys are watching. Hit like for more. Subscribe, of course, if you're new to the channel. And just let me know what your thoughts are down below. Because, like, what did you like out of this chapter? Did you like that fight with Goten and Trunks versus Gohan? Did you like the fight with Goku versus Gohan so far? Like, what are your thoughts about it? Plus, even Broly pops in this chapter, and he was, like, learning more about, like, there's more Saiyans this whole time? What? Like, his mind got blown by Whis mentioning all this stuff. So, I think that's very intriguing. So, but anyways, like I said, I'll see you all in the next videos. Peace out, everybody. Have a great day.